Runners on and runners in scoring position, another bugaboo tonight. Just what'd you see?
Yeah, that was the story of the game. Obviously, they got it done in that area, and we did not. Now, they threw some good arms, but that's an area we need to be better in. And you have to believe if we keep getting them on, we're going to figure out how to get that big hit more often and get them in. And tonight was not that night for sure.
How's Matty?
Hopefully he's okay. The initial, there's no really diagnosis yet. Felt something really weird when he threw that warm-up pitch. The only thing I can tell you is the initial report is better than what I thought it was going to be. The ultimate fear is always, is it his elbow? But we'll know more tomorrow based on does he have swelling, how does he feel. The tests they did were optimistic for us, so that was tough because Matty's one of our guys, but also you never want that for any one of your guys, but hopefully he'll be okay. That's all I know.
12 strikeouts, which I think is the most since one of those Louisville games for this lineup. You think it was pressing at the plate a little bit of apprehension?
No, I just think they made some good pitches. They had some power stuff. I'd have to go back and watch before I know if they're pressing. I don't think there's any apprehension. I feel good about our guys. I felt good about them in the box. I thought they had some really good at-bats. We left some runners on base, but we still put up 5 and against good arms. So I'll take a look at it tonight and see what I see.
Gavin in particular, he hasn't maybe had his best stuff at the plate, and then that home run tonight.
Yeah, I thought he had really good at-bats the whole night. I thought Vandenbrake had really good at-bats the whole night. We just got to get them distributed and more often. So far, it just hasn't been 6 or 7 guys. It's been 2 or 3. And we've still managed to win a good amount of games. If we can get that going, we'll win more, hopefully.
What are Jason's issues in here of late?
His last outing was really good against Boston College. Today, he just could not throw an all-speed pitch to neutralize the count. So he had to go to his fastball, and he didn't locate his fastball. So really, when he has struggled, it's been command of the off-speed the most. His fastball's still playing well. It's got good velocity, but he doesn't have a fastball like Jake Knapp that he can just challenge you at the top of the zone at 95. He's got a pitch. And if you're not keeping hitters off balance with an off-speed pitch, that fastball is way easier to hit because you're ready for it. Everybody wants to hit a fastball, and pitchers they pitch off their fastball. So we got to get him tunneling that off-speed better.
Last week he had one of his best outings since Texas Tech, and then today probably maybe one of the worst for him. Is there any adjustments that you guys can make to kind of help streamline that consistency and get?
We're always trying to make adjustments. I'll wait and we'll watch him on video. I feel like his mechanics were good. I feel like the ball was coming out of his hand good. I do think this is the best offense we have faced the entire season, top to bottom. And they showed tonight that if you don't make pitches, they're going to make you pay. They're older, they're grads. They played 4 years of Division I baseball at a lot of places. They're balanced throughout the order, and they have power. So that tells you how good Jake was yesterday. And even Jake's off-speed wasn't great, but he had enough on that fastball, and our bullpen did enough for us to find a way to win. So, with Jason, he's a big-time competitor. We believe in him, and we'll just keep working with him.
Does this change? I was going to say, you go with Pageant.
Well,
That makes sense.
Pageant, you talk about bridging the gap a lot, and you needed somebody to
No
do
doubt.
that today. Just what did you see from him?
Big bright spot. The thing about Cam Pageant is he's always going to compete. And to see where he is now, obviously we want him to be perfect. We want all these guys to be so good. To see where he is now to where he was when he walked in here, his velocity jumped, the off-speed's improving. But he, out of everybody tonight, he was competitive with every pitch. What I mean by that is the hitter thought every pitch he threw had a chance to be a strike, and that's part of being really good on the mound. And besides Cam tonight, just too many non-competitive pitches, fastballs or off-speed, were thrown. And when it's a ball out of the hand, it makes it a lot easier on the hitter. He's going to be on time, and he's not going to miss a mistake, and that's why Cam was our best pitcher tonight by far.
And he flushed that South Carolina performance.
Yes, and that's not surprising. He works, and he worked really hard in the bullpen with Coach Allen, Coach Gaines on his off-speed, and he threw much better off-speed pitches tonight with his slider and his changeup. Got more swings and misses on both, and he was able to throw both of them. And when we're facing guys, unless they have that elite ride like a Jake Knapp, That was the difference in their starter. He didn't have much fastball command, but he started flipping in that slider or cutter just enough to keep us off the fastball where we didn't know there were 2 pitches there.
What does that say to Cam's resilience? That, I mean, he gives up the home run.
He's awesome.
And then he goes back in and he's able to finish it out.
Yeah, he's just competitive, works his tail off. He is the reason he's taken the jump that he's taken. And until we find out with Matty where he's going to be a huge factor, because that means somebody else, next man up. Hopefully Matty won't be out too long. That's the first thing in my mind. I thought, like, okay, well, somebody is going to have to step up for us. And him doing that, I mean, the game felt like, I was just downstairs talking to our coaches, it felt like we were getting beat worse than we were, just because the way the game was going, and we couldn't have a clean inning, and they scored almost every inning. But we were only down 9-5, and that was because of Cam Pageant.
And then Olin, I mean, you brought him out. Did the velocity look a little bit down? Did he just not have his normal stuff
When he
today?
went back out, the fastball that was hit out was 89, up in the zone. They could have got around it and cut it a little bit. I have to go back and watch as well. But, he had a walk, and when we come in, we talk about when you come in as a reliever, the most important thing is you get that first guy out. Look at the difference last night with Walker. They had the bases loaded. And even though we only get 1 out, he gets the first guy out, and your chances of preventing a big inning right there. Worst case is they score 2 last night, in my opinion. Well, we're still hitting. Instead we just kept giving those up tonight.
What do you tell these younger relievers who don't have as many innings out of the bullpen, that obviously not every outing is going to be perfect? Baseball is a game of failure, but to just move on and go to the next.
Exactly that. You just said it. You just stay with the process. I mean, that's seriously what we do. Like, I just went in with the guys, and we play so many games. We're trying to win every series. We'd love to get a sweep, but somebody's going to win the series tomorrow. That game's over. I'm going to walk out of here and tell them the same thing. Like, good or bad, your outing's over. We need you to flush it, get in the weight room, get your stuff in. If you're hot tomorrow or available, we need you to be ready.
Do the arms you threw today change your pitching plan at all going into tomorrow?
We got through today, obviously, without Lynch and McDuffie. It's also a good feeling to have a guy like Aiden Houck, starting your game tomorrow. But they'll have a good guy that's been throwing good for them as well, because we're in the ACC. And that's the way it should be. You have to play well from top to bottom for the most part to win in this league. And tomorrow it'll be the team that does those little things the most, in my opinion, that wins the series.
You talk about the competitive pitches. It seems like you had a lot of 0-2 guys, 1-2 guys, and then you give up a hit or whatever because those 0-2 pitches or those 1-2 pitches aren't competitive. How do you get that out of these guys to not nibble so much like that? Yeah,
I have to go back and look. We did give up a couple, but not as many. The issue tonight was we would get to 0-2 or 1-2, and then it was 3-2 instead of putting people away. And that's what I mean by non-competitive. Well, where is the 0-2? Okay, if you go in and you jam him and he gets a flare, that's a good pitch, even though you don't feel like it because he got a hit. So I always go back. I try to wait. I feel like my eyes are pretty good during the game, but you don't really know until you go back and rewatch the game. From the pitching standpoint, that's a luxury of being a pitching coach so long. Where exactly was that pitch? Because we know based on the chart, where the pitch was called. So was the pitch called in and it was away? Well, that means I'm missing that spot.